second, yo, your TikTok is cute, bro. It's cute. I get it. You're doing your best to show face. Do whatever you need, bro. Like, talk to your team. Do whatever you need. But when you want to be a man, come talk to me like a man.
Yes, I've been reading your Instagram DMs, your Twitter DMs. And if you're new and you end up enjoying this video, please consider subscribing. We're getting so close to 500,000. This is literally the definition of edging. But with that said, let's just get into today's video. And I'm not going to overhype this. I like to be honest with my audience. I don't want to come on here and be, yo, George finally destroyed Mr. Paul, Mr. Maverick, Mr. Team 10. I mean, that's Jake Paul, but point stands. Honestly, the response with everything George has said and then what Logan Paul has said, I was expecting to get a response with receipts. So a few hours ago, George uploaded his newest episode to the podcast. But before we take a look at this one, which is the freshest one, I want to take you back to a few days ago. George talking about Logan Paul after Logan Paul made that infamous receipts video that was extremely manipulative and it tricked a lot of people. And I'm embarrassed to say this, but even me, it got me on some parts, which I later on apologized for because it was an L take.
As well as having his own credit card, all expenses related to the show were paid for, including all travel and lodging. Obviously, George's total reimbursement came out to $20,000, 317 cents. I'd love to see any books that show otherwise. Spending $120,000 a year to be on a show is a little confusing.
Dang. First of all, happy Mother's Day before I get into this drama because I got to go take my mom out. I'm having a splendid day today. Second, yo, your TikTok is cute, bro. It's cute. I get it. You're doing your best to show face. Do whatever you need, bro. Like, talk to your team. Do whatever you need. But when you want to be a man, come talk to me like a man. Let's sit down like men and talk about it. Mike did it. Mike's a real man. He had the chance to come, sit, talk, show all of his points of views, brother. You could bring camera. You could bring your attorney, bro. Come sit on the couch and talk to me like a man. Let's talk, bro. Because obviously you want to talk. Let's talk. Come talk to me, bro.
Now, when we get into the newer response, it's a whole different George. It's a whole different energy. Now, in this one, he clearly seems a bit more aggressive. And once again, I don't blame him. I don't think anyone's like, yo, why is George so aggressive? When you come out and speak about something so important, George has his platform. He's telling his story. And Logan Paul, within a day, claps back and lies and manipulates things and just takes things out of context to make Logan Paul look like a saint. I wasn't the only YouTuber that fell for this, by the way. Oompaville did. Too Lazy to Try did. And, of course, me that took the L because Logan Paul's side looked convincing. If you looked a little bit into it, then you'll be like, oh, so he was lying this whole time. So I get why George might be a bit more aggressive here. And taking a look at the replies, this person says, I'm no Logan fan, but you were the one that called him out on your podcast without any receipts. So it made sense for him to respond with receipts. And you're saying he's not a man for wanting to talk to you in person. That math ain't adding up. This got quite a few likes. And then this person says, why didn't George do that in the first place instead of airing out all of his drama on the internet? The reason why the podcast episode and all of this drama came to be is because people were genuinely intrigued on why Logan Paul and George had a falling out, why George walked away from the show, and it was George's time and opportunity to put his side of the story out because of the way the podcast was edited a year and a half ago. This person says George is a joke. Wow. So the comment section is not rocking with George at all. I can understand, and I don't blame people for falling for it. George does seem entitled in Logan Paul's video. Oh, this guy was making so much money in 15 months and he's bitching about it, but people don't know that George wasn't paid for a year. Logan Paul's out here making millions and millions and millions of dollars, and his co-host is also making millions of dollars. But then this other guy, George, isn't making millions. That takes us to the new episode of the podcast.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the George Janko Show. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, did we have an eventful week this week. Just a little.
Huge.
Just a little bit. And I know a lot of you guys have been messaging me, and you guys have been like, respond.
Respond to what?
Respond to Logan's video. And although I don't agree with Logan's video, and a lot of my story was taken out of that video, and it felt like it was, you know, it was played with. A lot of the people that watched it are already saying what I was gonna say regardless. And so just to let you guys know, I'm not trying to do the whole back and forth thing. I'm truly trying to be a peacemaker. I'm not trying to go to war. I know a lot of people are excited about the beef that's been going on online with Kendrick and Drake and all this stuff, and people get excited about that, but it's not something I want to be a part of.
This seems like George had post-nut clarity because the video that he dropped a few days ago on Mother's Day, which was May 12th, that was like 4 days ago, he was like, nah, it's not really worth going at it. Maybe he had a talk with his family and they calmed him down. Maybe that's what happened, but as you guys could see, the energy is completely different. Now, I would be lying and I wouldn't be honest with you guys if I said, but the thing is, at least for me, I don't know how you guys feel, but I would have liked to see George argue about what Logan Paul said on that TikTok video to disprove them, right? I don't think George is a liar. I don't think he's a bad person, by the way. But I think it would have been better if he would have addressed it quickly. Or, you know, going from, yo, come on here, talk to me like a man, to being like, no, I'm all about peace, which is valid. I don't want you guys to think like, oh yeah, I want to see fucking blood between these two guys. I want to see them rip each other apart. I don't want to see that. But some people are turning against George because, once again, the Logan Paul video, and they're like, oh, he's this entitled baby. Womp, womp, womp. Made 315,000 USD in 15 months. He wants this whole situation to be over. And then we get to focus and lock in and be like, well, if George is at peace and he talked about the whole Bobby Lee incident, if he's at peace and he feels calm, that's all that matters.
People get excited about that, but it's not something I want to be a part of. I want to be the man that sits with my friend and discuss things and moves on and builds together.
Like you and Mike did.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Me and Mike did exactly what I wanted to do, and I think Mike understood that too. I would love to have Logan come and sit down. It could be on the podcast. It could be off the podcast. I feel like, you know, there's a lot of things that he wants to get off his chest, and there's a lot of things that I would like to get off my chest. But war isn't where I'm running to. Don't get me wrong, is my initial, yeah, of course, because I get emotional. I see somebody I love and they do something I don't like, and I want to do that, but doesn't make it right? I gotta hold myself accountable, and I want to thank a lot of you guys. You know, like, it's cool having an audience like this because they hold me accountable, right? And they don't brush it off, and I just thought it was really cool. So thank you for everybody who's been rocking with me on the show and in the journey that I've been taking. And God willing, we just keep making peace and making more friends, and we could just keep going in the direction that we want to go, and I think that would be cool.
All right, something that I want to say that I've been thinking about, that I want to get off my chest, and if anyone knows, I would really appreciate it. Can anyone tell me where I could get this? I want this. If anyone could tell me where I could buy it, please let me know. I fuck with this extremely hard. I'm extremely jealous that I don't have it. I think this is the most important part of the video. Forget about subscribing, notifications on. I want to know where I could buy this. I need this in my room, in my living room. Anyone could hook me up with that, hit me up on IG or Twitter. Now, I think this is an extremely respectable route for George to go on. Well, I wouldn't go about it that way, but we're different people. If I was in his shoes, I would want to destroy and eat Logan Paul alive, because essentially Logan Paul called me a liar in front of like 10 million people. And I would just not take it, right? I would go to war. I would go full Kendrick Drake. And I mean, if Logan Paul has nothing to hide, he would go on the podcast. And I know what some people are thinking. George is only doing it for the clout. He's only doing it for the attention. George really doesn't need it. He has like 3 million subscribers. His podcast episodes all get over 100,000 views. But let's not deny it. If Logan Paul ever shows up on his podcast, everyone's going to watch. It's going to be a 1 out of 10, and it's going to make George thousands of dollars. All right, let's not kid ourselves. This is a business, but it's not like George desperately needs the clout. It's not like he's irrelevant or he fell off. That's not the case. This person says George pulled a J. Cole in his own beef. This person says, let's go. Glad you're responding this way. Not gonna lie, it was an awkward situation when Logan Paul made the reply with receipts, and it had me all confused. See, this is why I think George should have responded to the video, and I know George wants his drama to die, because then you get people who are confused, that are not going to know the full story or get the whole situation. So yeah, it leaves some people confused when they see the Logan Paul video, and then George says, no, I'm done with the drama. It makes the average viewer not understand what's going on, and they just stay with that. Oh, George is a whiny baby when he's not, you know what I mean? But it would have been extremely smart to dedicate 10-15 minutes of his podcast to clear some stuff up for his fans. That's what I would have done. I would have been like, he lied here, he lied there, that's kind of true, and he lied here, and we're done. Once again, that's just what I would do. With that said, if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, like, share, notifications on. I drop bangers every single day. I don't rest. The grind never stops. We're not gonna stop till we hit 500,000, and then we're not gonna stop till we hit 1 million. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you, and I'll see you next time.